Hello, hello. Welcome once again for day 10, if you can believe it, of Sun Salutations. As I was just sharing with those who may be live with me this morning, I invite you to set up for another soft practice this morning. Don't worry, there's lots of opportunities the rest of this month to build lots of warmth with our Sun Salutations. But I find it helpful in my practice to remember that one, I can be soft in the way that I set up. For me at 7 a.m. this week, it's been helpful to begin with soft lighting. So I invite you to take an extra moment to set up your area, to set up your room, your space. Make it comfy and cozy for you. Today we'll do soft variations of Sun Salutations, much like yesterday, where we're mostly on the floor. Hopefully we'll still get a flow going to create a little warmth this morning, but let it be sweet. So with that, I am Laren. Thanks for joining me. Check out my site at yellowumbrellayoga.com. And let's join on the mat, laying down on your back. Take just a moment to settle in. Stretch out long. If it feels okay for your shoulders, reach your arms overhead and let the backs of your hands just rest on the mat. Let your heels be heavy as well. And start to just notice all the places that your body meets the mat. Notice your breath now. Take a long, slow inhale through your nose. And exhale just as softly, just as slowly through your nose as well. On your next inhale, invite a little more activity, stretching long, reaching with your fingertips and toes pointing away from each other. Sip just a little more air at the top, reach just a little farther as though to become a little taller. And exhale, soften, release that breath. Press it out. Inhale again, thinking long thoughts. Now, as you exhale, lift your arms like Frankenstein and begin to sit up, reaching toward your toes, using the strength of your belly to help you lift. Keep reaching. There's no right or wrong amount to reach. See if you can find a kind of fold, kind of softly extending over your lap. Inhale, half lift, sit up tall. Lead with your heart, reach again any amount. Exhale forward. Inhale, roll up, roll back, lay down, reach long. And exhale here. Sun Salutation A, laying down with no added vinyasa. Let's do that again. Inhale, reach long, fill up. Exhale, palms toward the sky, reach to lift. Keep reaching, lean over your lap towards your toes. It's okay if you don't reach them. Exhale here, see if you can find a little more softness. Inhale, half lift, sit up tall. Squeeze your shoulder blades together on your back to broaden your chest and sit up a little taller. Exhale, fold forward, pour your belly into your lap, lead with your heart, reach and fold forward. Inhale, round through your back, lay down, peel down, one vertebrae at a time. Arms reach overhead. Inhale, stretch long, fill up. Exhale, be heavy for a moment. Inhale to reach, stretch long. Exhale, Frankenstein arms help you lift, sit up, reach toward your toes. Keep your toes flexed toward your face or toward the ceiling. Inhale, hands to shins or lap, sit up tall. Exhale, lead with your heart, reach toward your toes, fold forward, find softness. Keep your chin tucked, keep your spine curling, lowering one vertebrae at a time to the floor. Reach arms long overhead. Deep breath in. Heavy sigh out. Inhale to reach and lengthen. Exhale, lift your arms, sit up. Reach towards your toes. Think about pressing the backs of your knees toward the floor, but it's okay if they're bent. Inhale, half lift, sit up tall. Squeeze shoulder blades together to open up your collarbones, if that makes sense. Exhale, pour yourself forward, find another fold. Inhale, melting back and down, laying down again. Arms reach overhead, deep breath in. Exhale, deep breath out. Put both knees into your chest. Just give yourself a squeeze. Let your hips feel heavy toward the mat. Let your entire spine be glued down. Feel what flat feels like. And make your way onto hands and knees. You have a couple options here. You can, of course, do this softly, just rocking over to one side and rolling over onto hands and knees. If you'd like just a little more effort or play, rock back and forward, using your feet to create a little momentum, pausing at the top maybe, and getting ready to rock all the way forward. You can push yourself up, come up to toe balance. Reach on the lift to help. Take a moment to get grounded and balanced, or fall, whatever is working today. And just plant both hands on the mat and step your feet back, coming onto hands and knees. If you set up with a blanket or towel today, use that for a little extra cushion, or you can grab one now if you need it. Find your nice square tabletop pose with hands right under shoulders, knees right under hips. Inhale, sink your belly toward the mat. Find cow pose. Exhale, arch your back. Tuck your chin for cat. Again, inhale, cow pose. Heavy belly. Let your head be the last to lift. Exhale, tuck your tail. Round your back. Tuck your chin. Cat pose. Inhale, belly drops. Cow one more time. Exhale to cat. Tuck your tail first. Tuck your chin last. Bring your hips down towards your heels for child's pose. Take a full breath here. Inhale, shift forward, lift back up for tabletop. Now we'll begin to move through Sun Salutation B. Again, staying on the floor, and we won't be adding any extra vinyasa just yet. Inhale to lift your right leg long behind you, extending your heel away. Exhale, tuck your knee to your chest and step it between your hands. Take a moment to set up your foundation. Press into your front foot to lift your hands and reach high overhead. Modified Warrior One, kneeling. You can scooch your front foot forward if you'd like just a little more space to let your hips sink forward in center. Inhale, reach up, look at the sun. Exhale, frame your front foot with your hands to the mat. And send your leg back to meet the left. Find tabletop again. Nice. Inhale, lift your left leg this time, long behind. Toes still pointed toward the floor. You can look under your belly behind you and see if you can notice those toes pointed down. As you exhale, step forward, adjusting as needed to make your foundation feel supportive. Press into your right shin behind you as well as your left foot in front of you. Release your hands from the mat. Inhale, reach up as though being handed a giant basket. This helps take some of the weight out of the shoulders. Exhale, lower your hands to the mat. Send your left foot back to meet your right in tabletop once more. Now we'll begin to add a kind of vinyasa, but still aiming for a soft flow this morning. Inhale, lift your right leg long behind. Squeeze the whole back of that lifted leg, toes still pointed toward the floor. Exhale, step forward between your hands, setting up. When you feel set, press into your front foot and back shin. Lift your hands, reach high overhead for Warrior One. Take a breath here. On your next exhale, plant your hands to frame your front foot. Send your right foot back. Let it lift again, long behind. It's okay if this feels weird or if you're not quite in the right setup. You can adjust as needed. And lower your right knee. Take a little step forward with your hands, bringing your hips forward for a plank pose with your knees lowered. Keep your elbows in close and lower your belly and chest to the mat. Maybe tap your nose. Inhale, squeeze your elbows and shoulders behind you. Inflate to lift your chest off the mat, baby cobra. Exhale, peel down. Press up, send hips back for child's pose. Take a breath. Come back up for tabletop. Inhale, lift the left leg long behind. Exhale, step forward. Inhale, hands lift. Kneeling Warrior One. Exhale, hands frame your front foot on the mat. And send it back, lifting it long behind before setting it down to meet its mate on the mat. Step forward with your hands as needed to find your nice Knees lowered, plank pose. Elbows in close, lower to the mat. Inhale, inflate, lift up, baby cobra. Exhale, peel down. Press into your hands, send your hips to your heels. Child's pose. Inhale to tabletop. Exhale here. Inhale to lift your right leg long behind. Exhale, tuck your knee to your chest, step forward between your hands. When you're ready, lift your hands, sink your hips forward, getting a nice stretch in the front of your left hip. Modified warrior one. Dive forward, plant your hands. Send your right foot back, lifting it one more time behind before lowering your knee to the mat. Take a small step forward with both hands, coming to low plank. Let your elbows be like springs as they graze your rib cage, lowering you to the mat. Inhale, inflate. Lift your chest. Look at the mat in front of you. Cobra. Exhale, peel back down. Inhale, press into hands, hips meet your heels. Child's pose. Exhale in heaviness. Nice. Inhale, back up to tabletop. Hopefully starting to feel the benefits of the warmth you're creating. Inhale, lift your right. Nope, wrong side. Lift your left leg long behind you this time. Toes still pointed toward the floor. Exhale, step forward between your hands. Get set up. Maybe stacking your left ankle right underneath your left knee. Press into your back shin, your right shin, and the top of your right foot. And lift your hands. Warrior one. Exhale, see if you can create space between your shoulder tops and your ears. Exhale, dive forward, plant your hands. Wiggle your left foot back to meet the right. Lift it one more time behind. And then lower that knee. Step hands forward as needed to find your low plank. Exhale, lower to the mat, chaturanga. Inhale to lift for cobra. Exhale to lower. Inhale, find child's pose. Stack your palms face down, rest your forehead. Take a couple extra breaths. Checking in with your Ujjayi breath practice, if that is with you today. Just listening to the ocean sound created by your own breathing. One more full breath. All right, come back up to hands and knees, tabletop. Let's keep moving. Inhale to lift your right leg long. Squeeze your heel away. So to lift it, press it toward the ceiling. Exhale, step forward. Find your warrior one. Lift your hands when you're ready. Deep breath in here. Exhale, bow down. Send your leg back. Squeeze it long. Lower your knee. And step forward for low plank. And exhale, lower. Inhale for cobra. Squeeze your shoulders behind you. Exhale, peel back down. Inhale, press your arms up. Come back to plank. And then shift your hips back toward heels for child's. Come up for tabletop. Inhale, lift your left leg this time. Let it be long. Exhale, step it forward. When your foundation's set, lift your hands, warrior one. Exhale, dive forward. Frame your front foot. Send it back. Lift it one more time behind you. And lower, finding your tabletop again. Stepping your hands forward. Find plank. Keep elbows close, lower to the mat. Inhale to cobra. Exhale to lower. Inhale for child's pose. Exhale here. Inhale, come up for tabletop again. Let's add on just a little bit more, not so much in the spirit of a vinyasa, but just to give the backs of our legs a little love, hoping to sort of floss the femoral nerve and the hamstrings. On your next inhale, press your right heel long behind you, extending your right leg. Exhale, step it forward, sitting up for your warrior one once more with lowered back knee. Press into your left shin behind you, your right foot in front. Lift your hands, find warrior one. Let your hips be heavy. Might feel like you're kind of shifting forward as you do. Exhale, frame your front foot. This time, keep your right foot, the whole sole of your right foot glued to the mat. You can use your hands to just sort of walk yourself back, extending your right leg now long in front of you. You might already feel some tension in the back of your hamstring. If you do, stop at that edge. There's no need to force it. Let's just do that a couple times. So inhale, walk forward. Letting hips be heavy towards your right foot. And exhale, press into your right foot to slide your hips back towards your left heel. Inhale, shift forward. Right knee comes over right ankle. And I even like to use my right thigh to sort of support my upper body somewhat. You can see I kind of have my right shoulder hooked over it. And this just gives less work for my back. But then you reach a point as you come back where your arms are kind of supporting and maybe your thigh comes away from your heart just a little bit. Again, that's going to depend on how much space you have in your hamstring today, which might look like this. This might be as far back as you come. That's okay. That's great. No need to force it. So just kind of Do that a couple more times, shifting forward, shifting back, shifting forward, shifting back. This time, dig your right heel into the mat and act as though to drag the mat towards your back left knee, so much so that your right toes peel up off the mat. Keep that dragging motion. You might find you get a little more space now to lower the back of your knee toward the mat, extending your leg a little longer. Now toggle your toes out toward the right, just sort of dialing, and then back towards the left. You might notice this where the femur meets the pelvis in the ball and socket joint there. Just toggle back and forth. Notice if you're holding your breath. Try not to. When you're ready, bring your toes to face straight up again. Use your hands to help you walk forward, being heavy in that front foot again, your right foot. Now send it back to meet the left. Find your tabletop again. On your next inhale, lift your left leg long behind this time. Toes still pointed toward the floor. Squeeze your left glute to extend that leg. On an exhale, step forward between your hands. Same thing on the other side. So set up your foundation and lift your hands. Deep inhale for warrior one. Stay here for exhaling. Take another breath in. And exhale, dive forward, frame your front foot with your hands. Glue your left foot down, toes and all, and use your hands to help support you as you walk back, extending your left foot long, your left leg long. Once again, listen to your hamstring. This side might be different than the other. You might be able to go farther, you might not be able to go as far. See if you can accept the difference between sides. Just press into your toes as you shift your hips back to your edge. And walk your hands forward. Let your knee support your left chest or shoulder. And walk yourself back. Press into your left toes. Extend your leg long. And bend your knee as you shift forward again. Hips come towards your left heel. Now send your hips towards your right heel. Walking hands back to support you. Extend your left leg long. Just flossing the femoral nerve, getting some space in the hamstring. Walk your hands back. Press into your left toes. Now dig your heel in and peel your toes back towards your face. Imagine that same dragging motion, like you're going to scoot the mat towards you. And see if that increases any benefit of the stretch. Toggle your toes over to the right towards 2 o'clock. Keep flexing them back towards your face as you toggle them back towards the left now. Just dial your toes between 10 and 2, feeling a little massage in the hip socket. Bring your toes back towards neutral, pointing straight up. And begin to step forward, walking your hands to help support as your hips come towards your left heel and as your left foot becomes heavy in the front again on the mat. Press into both hands, send your left foot back. Come down to tabletop again. Send your hips down and back for child's pose. Take a breath here. Appreciate the work you've done. All right. Thanks for joining me. This has been another wonderful day of sun salutations that I'm delighted to share. Thanks for moving softly with me today. I look forward to seeing you tomorrow, and we'll create some more sunshine. Have a good one.